Here comes the money. Here comes the money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money.
Welcome into episode number 28 of DeathPiles and Taxes.
Well, I feel welcomed and appreciated.
Well, you should be welcome. You came with it. I came bearing gifts today.
I came bearing gifts. I said the people have asked for it. The people want it. Now that you're back on it, where is the due 30?
It's a due 30 there.
And or if due doesn't start paying, it's going to be a generic
Mountain
drink 30.
I got back on. I got off the pony.
It's been so hot that it's hard not to be on something, right? And it's better than some of the other stuff you've been on in your life, so we'll take it.
That's true.
So what's up, Adam?
Well, you know, I'm pumped for today's show.
I'm pumped too. I guess we should introduce ourselves. I'm Derek Everett, D-Roy Everett, on the Instagram, which I've got so many new followers. It's crazy this week.
That's awesome.
And on the Twitter, I've kind of been neglecting the Twitter, but I'm at both of them. So if you want to talk or follow me, that's where you do it.
The tweak machine.
Adam Beasley's sitting across from me. He's your head honcho here that's leading us from coast to coast or something like that.
Nation to nation.
And DeathPiles and Taxes, like you said. It's
if this is the
podcast, right?
If this is the first episode you're listening, welcome for listening.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Looks like we're getting new listeners daily, and we appreciate it. And
we're just under that number. It says 2K, but we know the real number. We're almost at 2,000 downloads.
Which, in a few months, it's been a few short months. We appreciate it. And if you enjoy it or think somebody that you know would enjoy it, please share us with a friend, coworker, and or enemy. As long as they like it, we're happy to have them. So
we take them all.
We'll take it all. So what's been going on this week? What's new in the world of Adam Up Accounting and Adam Beasley?
Well, we'll get into a couple new things. I'm going to hit on a couple things today, so we can kind of get like an outlook on the show. If you're new to the show, we've come into a regular segment, Derailed with D-Roy. We'll get into that a little later on the show. But I want to hit some eBay
That's
things.
What the people want.
The people
That's
want
what
it.
They're asking for.
They want it.
You got to give it to them.
You give it to them.
They got to have it.
Yeah, they got it. They need it. Just like I need my diet due.
Yeah.
Want to get into some specifics. I was looking into my wife's account for our history because she's selling, man. She's selling something every day.
She is a selling machine.
Selling machine. But I'm going to get into specific things. I'm hoping you can give me some insights as we look into, as you list things, you can see how many people are watching it and how many people are like looking at it and knowing kind of what the conversion's on that. So I'll get into some details on that in a few minutes. So just throw that your way so you can get your mental sharpness ready.
You go in that direction.
Yeah, because I know you've kind of... Let me ask you a question. How's your workouts been going?
My workouts, my mental workouts, or my physical
Your
workouts?
physical workouts.
Boy, they've been better.
I want to give this to you because I know I'm going to hear the guff in your friend, your guy that says this raiding Area 51 was a hoax.
Oh.
But, hold on.
Yeah, you've been in the same week I've been on.
Before you get there, I've got some insider information.
Some insight. Okay. Breaking news. I'm just going to lean back and listen.
So, you and all your buddies really be hitting that workout, okay? Because you and your buddies, apparently it's 30 miles in from the area to actually get to where Area 51 starts.
That's going to take a lot of calisthenics.
Yeah, so you boys are going to have to start your workout, start running, because that initial 5K you thought it might be is more than a marathon.
It's more than a marathon to get to the base. Well, they can't stop us all, but we all can't get there. That's what you're saying?
I'm amazed, and that's the ingenuity of people. You hit it while it's hot, and here's your opportunity to make stuff online. You can make your own T-shirts.
I was there.
You saw the T-shirt.
That's that. Here's the crazy thing. So I've listened to, you know me, I'm always listening to a few different things. So I've been listening to the interview that inspired the raid, right? That the guy got all inspired by. I've been listening to the guy being interviewed saying, no, it's all a joke. Please, FBI, don't come arrest me. Don't raid my house. He's nervous.
Oh, I would be too.
He's like, I was just a Facebook joke. But now it's like, it's a Facebook joke, but let's go all out there and we can have us a little musical, I think you want to have some concert or something like that and get together out in Rachel and stuff. And yeah, dude's trying to make some money off it, and I can't blame him, you know. So there you have it. I mean, sell you some T-shirts, get on out there. Yeah, well, he was nervous because he's like, he doesn't want people dying in their blood on his hands, basically, if they try. He's like, joke, don't do it.
Yeah.
So
because they will hunt you down like a dog.
And he knows that people, you know, there's like that 10% of the population that's just dumb enough to try about anything, they will do it.
Yeah.
And
those are the kind of people that hang around those,
well, even
those
the
things.
Air Forces came out and said, don't do it.
Yeah,
don't do it. We're not treating this like a joke. So
now, if you aren't familiar, some guy on Facebook, which you probably are, but some guy said that you're, you can just put it on there. Some guy said that they're all going to go to Area 51 so they can find out what's really going on.
well, he's going to let the aliens out, you know.
Yeah.
So they're in there trapped. And who's to say this is all, I know last week we went down the whole rabbit hole, right?
Yeah.
But say the aliens are inside and you free them. Who's to say they're nice at that point? They're not just going to kill you. Like, this hasn't been thought out that much. Like, we're captive. We're here to free you. You look like the guys that have imprisoned us. Like, you know, they can care and know the difference at that point. So,
Yeah.
that's just some different thoughts.
Yeah. So I just wanted to make sure and check if you were, you know, you better get in shape, pal, because it's a long run.
If you have anything Area 51 or alien UFO related, right now's the time to have that stuff listed. Hot time. I got an Area 51 alien hat that was given to me from a friend that says Trump Nevada on it. Not for sale. Not for sale.
Some things you can't sell.
You can't put value on some things.
No, you can't. Another thing, I guess we just watched it before we get into the hot tips. How about that Everett Denny show?
Everett Denny is a throwback Thursday for us.
The best part is that you've attempted quite a few things. You're always dabbling.
Always got to be doing something, right?
You were so far ahead of the curve, you didn't know what to do.
I know. We should have kept on them. Everett Denny's a hit.
My kids loved it.
They did.
You saw them
They sat
sitting
here
here
just
watching it.
enthralled and wanted to watch more.
You know what I heard? While as we walked in, Dad, we got to go home and make some Twinkies.
For those of you that don't know, Everett Denny would be my dad. And if you go to the Google machine, or no, just go to YouTube and put in Everett, spelled ITT the way the Lord intended, like I have to tell you every time.
Of course.
Denny, and then some older videos that we've put up on the YouTube of his recipes for success in life. How about that?
Yeah,
And just sit back and enjoy them for what they are.
I sure did.
And we've talked about it. We might want to bring him back, or he, well, I'll give him some other stuff later anyways.
But here's the thing. We've done this podcast every week. We've made it a routine, okay? Yes, there's been opportunities that we could have done something else or family obligations or something, but we made a commitment to do it. If you would have 5 years ago said, all right, Everett Denny, we're going to do this every single Sunday, and you made a video, where would you be right now?
He'd probably have his own show on YouTube or Hulu at this point, because
He's an enjoyable guy.
he's a funny guy and content is out there. So,
Content is king.
and there's plenty of content. So.
And we're in an era that you don't need a professional studio to film anything.
Now, granted, when you go back and watch these films, if we'll call them that, this is, you know, it's not
5
HD.
years.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah,
it's aged a bit, but
It's several years
that
old.
still makes you giggle.
Oh, yeah. But that's what I'm saying is, as you build content, as you build an audience, people will watch it.
Hey, that's your old, if you build it, they will come, right?
That's right. Thanks, Kevin Costner.
Actually, fun fact for you, if you build it, he will come.
Oh.
Actually, words on it.
Oh, wow.
So those Mandela mind trips things.
Nelson.
You know the Mandela effect?
Yeah, Nelson Mandela.
Okay, well, yeah. That's one
I
of them.
just know who he is.
Oh, well. Well, if you look into the Mandela effect, this will be a whole other rabbit hole for you about reality as you know it might not be what you remember. We'll just say that.
Well, my Costanzaism I sent you the other day. If you believe it, it's not a lie.
That's true. That's got me through a lot of hard times in my life.
Yeah, you and Briefcase.
It's not, yeah.
So
May have saved me a few jobs.
So there you go. So that's kind of what I got. I was just concerned about your workout because I had insider information that it's 30 miles in.
My workout is to get a truck out to Rachel selling waters for what I say $10, $5 a bottle.
Yes.
And that was my workout. My hand into the cold ice.
Yes.
$5. Here you go. Thank you. No change. No
That's
change.
right. So if you're smart, you're going to take Venmo.
Then that's a good point. But yeah, I don't know if there's good internet connection out there. I mean, you're in the middle of nowhere. You think they got good coverage on the cell phone?
So if you're really smart, that's a tough one.
I don't know what Rachel set up for me.
Because I don't think those hipsters are smart enough to bring cash with them.
That's a good point, but they can go in the little alien there, and there's a ATM.
There you
happen
go.
to know that hits every time you go out there.
That's right, if you're lucky. So, what's new with you, man?
Well, it's been one of those weeks. For those of you that aren't in the area here in Utah, we have a second 4th of July, so to speak, called the Pioneer Day. So yesterday was Pioneer Day, the 24th, was celebrating when our state was founded, and we went to a baseball game, me and the wife, on the 23rd, actually. We went back to the Owls.
No boy.
Returned to the scene of the crime. And I guess we might as well get into it a little bit. This is a little bit my derailed, but a few months back, you remember me talking about when we went to the minor league hockey game and people just giving that up some guff?
Minor league hockey or baseball?
No, hockey. Remember back when I was talking
that's
about going
right.
to the Grizzly game?
Yeah, the Grizzlies.
And there's a reason the ref sucks is because he's a minor league ref.
Sure.
Well, the kind of people over there at the Owls, and I'm going to say kind, they still owe me. Remember when I went out on the field?
Yeah, didn't you get like a haircut?
I have not seen my haircut yet. My wife won a raffle the other night there for a something, chat book or something that you do on the internet with scrapbooking, right? So she goes up to get her prize. Oh, we'll call you and give you the code for that. Or Mal's, you're on blast. I'm letting it be known. We will go to the Ogden Raptors next year.
You will drive up to
I will
Ogden.
support them. That will be where our group game of the year is.
Yeah.
The DeathPiles and Taxes could go to the Ogden Raptors if you don't get your P's and Q's in a row and give me my gift.
We will leave.
We'll go support some. I'm even willing to say I'd go support them Colorado Vibes.
Colorado Vapes?
The Vapes, the Vibes.
The
Remember
Vibes.
them?
Oh, yeah, I remember.
So anyway, so we go to the ball game, and it's fun. It's nice. You know, we got good tickets because they're cheap, and we're having a good time. And this guy sitting down the row from us, we're on the front row behind the mat, or right behind home base.
Yeah.
So this guy comes over, and he's sitting by his wife a couple seats down, a couple innings into it, and he just decides that old Blue is going to hear from him tonight. So he's Blue, come on, Blue. What's the matter with you, Blue?
So did it was his kid on the team?
No, he's just decided that the rookie league, Pioneer Baseball League, is where he's really going to let his voice be heard, right?
Yeah, it makes total sense.
So playing the game, and it's not consistent. Like he's yelling like these weird phrases, like "You sure that's not a strike, Blue? You need to keep her consistent." And like, yeah, consistency's not one of your things. So I'm kind of, whatever, kind of laughing a little bit, but then I'm thinking, man, like you're heckling this guy. Like I said this to my wife after. I'm like, does he really think this guy came out and thought, you know what's going to happen tonight? This is Ormals, and it's almost Pioneer Day. I'm going to ruin this for these people in the crowd. There's going to be 20 people here. I'm really just going to ruin their night, right? I'm going to call this, I really like the Colorado team. I hope they win it all, and I'm going to help them win it all because I am a minor league official, and I have nothing better to do with my time than come out here for $50 tonight or whatever I'm going to get and just really screw this home team over, right? So, anyway, so the night goes on, and he did make a bad call where he called it a strike. It was down by the guy's knees. Should have been a ball, right? And the first base coach loses it. He just loses it, comes over, and he's kicking up the dirt, and he's having just a fit, gets tossed, right?
Okay.
Which is fair. That's his job to do. And in baseball, that kind of stuff happens. So that crowd's really getting into it, right? They're really they can't believe how awful this guy is. A couple more, it might have been the next inning or something. Swinger strikes out, and he turns and says something to the ref. He's tossed.
Yeah.
So at this point, 2 people have been tossed.
Okay.
So the crowd is just going nuts and like, you hear that sound? You hear that vacuum sound? It's you, because you suck. And like all the kind of, come on, Blue. I'm like, dude, I'm just kind of like, really, we're out to the ball game to have a good time. I could care less if they win or lose. I have no emotional connection to this team, nor does anyone else here. Even the people who are hosting the kids they're playing, you're just here to see a good night, right?
Good time had by most.
Well, we go into extra innings, and I guess long story short, there's a walk-off that it was nice, it was cool, the team was rallying, the people go nuts, but people just baffle my head to where you really think this umpire is here to just like
get you.
To get you and your team. I mean, I could see if it's like MLB, it needs to be a little more consistent. Because that is a pro. You're talking millions of dollars. That matters. I understand the authenticity of the game. You need it to be consistent and stuff. But heckling a minor league ref, man, I'm just like, dude, I wish the ref could turn around and say, hey, buddy, when I was getting my Whopper before the game, I didn't tell you how to do your job. Don't tell me how to do mine. Something like that. I wish the refs could heckle back a little bit, right? Like,
just
when I was down there at Ross, I didn't
Just
tell you to
stick it
double
to
bag that.
Yeah.
Whatever. But here I am sticking up for a referee. I don't know what's went wrong in my life, but it was just kind of interesting to where I'm like, I'm just here to have a dog and just enjoy a night, watch some ball,
Just do what you got to do.
So that's been my week. We had some good sells. I think I was telling you about this. I don't remember. I've seen you a few times this week or talked to you, so
It's weird.
it's kind of a blur.
Yeah.
Back to my candy. Candy Most Dandy. If you follow me on the Instagram, you know this. If you go back a couple weeks, I was talking about this when my grandpa said, Derek, how do you make $200 off candy, right? You remember that?
Oh, yeah, I remember.
So this week I sold. So the guy sent back go back on returns. Why I take returns? The guy sent back 2 things because they were overpriced, and I'm ripping them off for selling them. I got both those items back, turned around and sold them for $50 a piece. Sold the second one the other day for $50. So if anything, I should have sold all 11 for $50 a piece. I left myself short, and made $100 off of the return. So profited an extra $60 from where I was at. So
That's crazy.
that's kind of what we've been up to.
Look at that, man.
Yeah, there it is. I mean, it's interesting, and people are just, I don't know, it's just
People
finding those things, right? And they're out there. That's the other thing, one of those spices. So
McCormick Spice.
if you're not listening, I don't know, or if you're just new to the thing, that's the problem, is I'm trying to not tell the same story over and over and over, but yet we got new people listening that need to hear it. Old people are like, yeah, we know, you tell us every week. If you watch my bolos, if you go on the Twitter, the Facegram, the Face Instagram, whatever it's called, I'll put these up. But there's a spice, and it was some McCormick Spice. Like every grocery store had it, right? It gets discontinued. I found her up at the NPS store for, I think it was like 20 cents. It was something crazy low. And this week sold it for over $20. So I guess my whole point of all this is, you walk into a store, whatever that store is, there's an opportunity to make hundreds of dollars that might just be sitting there that you have no clue about. So
Just take the time and learn. That's it.
don't be afraid to look. Don't be afraid to scan.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to go outside the box. Say, I mean, we all know if you have a brand new pair of, whatever Nike shoes, that's going to captivate some money. But what you might not know is a discontinued McCormick Spice that somebody wants for their barbecue or whatever could do the same for you.
So, like I said, your advice is discontinued things that look unique, different flavors, any kind of thing that looks different.
It looks different if you got a few seconds to scan stuff. Maybe
Yeah.
it says, clearance, whatever, closeout sell.
Scan it.
Scan it. What's it going to take you an extra 10 seconds in the store? And
Yeah.
you might find something that no one else has a clue on. You might be the only one on the internet saying, yeah, $50, whatever,
Exactly.
$100.
There, you just never know. So, well, that's always a good tip. Got a question for you. Did you see one of the things as we get into selling online, you got to differentiate yourself. You got to be different than other people. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of vague and different online, but you got to find that right product. You see that thing about that smart kid up in Utah, right by the police department?
I did.
He was selling ice cold beer.
I did see that. He had a sign out. People were upset about that.
All kinds of upset.
It did. It said in really small writing above it,
Root.
ice cold beer from the street. It was
Yeah.
just a big ice cold beer
Like a
sign.
10-year-old kid.
A 10-year-old kid.
Yeah.
And of course, Utah is not happy with that's a whole other thing.
10-year-old selling root beer.
Well, they're not
Or
happy
beer.
with anyone selling beer anyway.
Yeah.
Let alone a kid off the side of the road. But so people would stop and see what it was all about. It was root beer, and the kid was making money, right?
Yeah.
But then, people got their panties in a twist, and did they get them shut down? I knew that some people were trying
Well,
to.
it was right by the police department. All the police guys showed up, and they started buying root beer. National story.
There you go. I mean, it's all presentation, right? Sometimes it's the sizzle, not the steak.
Hey, so, I don't know. I just thought of that. That was one of those things that I was like, hey, man, you just think outside the box.
Yeah, I
That's what
mean,
it's all about, man.
that's how it is. The kid's, entrepreneur mindset, and that's I've been telling you is like, hey, get your kids busy, then what happens?
So, I'll tell you what we did for the last hour. Like literally, while we were waiting here, we were on eBay, and like they'd each say something like, "I want to look this up. I want to look this up," and they looked at it, and we went down the solds, and it was like things that they wanted to do. And I mean, one was like Shopkins Real Series or something. My wife found them on clearance for $7, and she sold them for $20.
Yeah.
And like my daughter's like all excited because they sold 2 of them already, and then they went and bought more of them.
Because that's what you do.
Yeah, and then you look at the pictures and you're like, hey, those ones are ours, that's ours, because you can see the background. We've got like a special background. And they're all kinds of excited, and it's like, wow. I got on there. My son's really into board games. We showed him Monopoly, and we looked up all the versions that are really worth some money, so now they know what to look for.
Well, now it's in their head, like you say, when they're at the store.
Yeah.
Their store with you, whatever, you're walking down the aisle, and hey, there's Monopoly, yeah, nice. No, remember, Dad, this one's the one that was worth $50 or $200 or whatever.
And they know, they remember it.
Yeah, they'll remember. You won't remember. You'll be on the next thing. It's not in there, but I remember when we were starting, I kept teasing you, put those kids to work, and then
they're going to work.
Your son's the one that finds that McDonald's mat that was hundreds of dollars to some guy in Japan. So
they are going to work.
If you have kids out there, don't be afraid to expose them to this, put them to work, and hopefully they get into it. I guess you might have that, oh, Mom, it's summertime. I don't want to go to the thrift store. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I want to, one thing that I did, I started listening to more podcasts besides our own. My brother he got me on one they called The Pitch. I'm still kind of learning this big business type game thing with our wheelchairs. Been going really good. We've got a really fun road chair. We're building a power chair. But I'm in this unique process of I'm trying to figure out how you present this, you do these things. So one of them is called The Pitch. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
No.
Talk about pitching different ideas or like businesses and the formats you're supposed to put it in. The other one is the one that I always like talking about, the Gary V audio experience. But one that was really cool, which I think you're going to definitely like, is he had one that he talked specifically about cards, about like baseball cards.
Mm-hmm.
It says 3 smart ways to invest $1,000 in sports cards. It was really good.
Give it a listen.
It was really good. And the thing that I like that you've already been doing is getting your cards graded.
Yeah.
They talk about how important it is to have your cards graded because then it brings the value up so much on those things.
Yeah, there's certain things that, people will put, and if you look in the local sites and stuff, somebody will have a whatever card and it's worth $20,000. And you're like, dude, why is this worth $20,000? It's mint. Well, who says that? You do. You have to send it in. There's a process, unless you have some extremely rare card where somebody's like, here's that, I don't care, I'm going to do all the work myself, right?
So walk me through that I know we talked about it in the past, but let's just say, because I've gone through my cards, and I have some, and I want to actually send them in, especially as I looked up baseball cards with my kids. How does that process work, grading a card?
Okay, so it's a fairly easy process, but it's like stuck in the analog era, so it's a little more difficult than it should be, honestly. There's a few major companies, but the trusted ones are the Beckett and PSA.
Yep.
I go with PSA because I can do it online.
Okay.
Beckett, you have to send it out by hand. Or at least as far as I know, when I looked into it a couple of years ago, that's how it was. So what you're going to do is you're going to get your card. You're going to put it in a plastic sleeve that you can buy at Walmart or online or anything, the protective sleeve.
Okay.
You're going to go onto the website, whichever one you choose to do. I'll just go from PSA because that's what I'm familiar with. And you're going to start a submission form, right? So it's going to say, what card is it? So you're going to put in your year, all the information you know about the card, basically. The year, who it is, the brand that made the card, everything about the card that you kind of have.
Okay.
Then you just kind of save it. It's kind of like a spreadsheet kind of looking thing. Then you go through and just put that, all those submissions. Now, you're going to be different options. You can say, I want it to be graded. I want it to be graded for signature. I want it to be graded for a few different things that can be on there, right? I might just want to authenticate it or authenticate a signature. So there's a few different options, and that can cost you anywhere from, $7 to $8, $10 on to, $20 for a signature confirmation, multiple signatures, $20 a pop, right?
Okay.
So you want to do your research and make sure that what you're doing, you're getting graded, is going to be worth it in the long run. So then you're going to get So basically, you put in all the information. Say you have 10 cards, you get that. You print off the submission form. Now they do have subscriptions, so if you're gonna be doing this a lot, this is where I kind of got into it a little bit. Of okay, I got a bunch of cards, I got to do them all. So I believe if you bought a year subscription, they had a platinum or gold, and they give you 10 free submissions or something of that nature.
Yeah.
But basically, you sign up for it, they'll cut you a different rate on when you submit it. So instead of $7, it's $5 or something per card. If you do 100 cards, they'll kick it down more. If you do, they're all over 100-year-old cards, it will kick it down more. It's different. They have all sorts of different options like that. So basically, though, you just put in the information, you print off what you got, you pay, or you put in your payment information, you mail it off to them. Takes probably upwards of 6 to 10 weeks. They get the form. They say, okay, we got the form. We look through everything. Everything looks good. Or hey, you missed this card. Or on this card you said this, but did you really mean that? Kind of stuff. And then they go through. They'll grade them all.
How long does it take to get them back?
It's about 10 weeks, depending on.
So it's they're
pretty backlogged, actually.
Yeah, I can imagine why.
It's a pretty. The process itself, I've kind of watched a few things on it. I mean, they look over them, they analyze them. These are experts that this is what they do, right? So when you're looking, everyone looks at corners is what we look at as just generic kids growing up like, oh, the corners aren't bent, Well, there's also centering, coloring, all these other things I didn't know anything about.
I just read that with my kids today.
So you're looking for, what makes this card, okay, is this worth sending in? And it looks like it's centered to me. Color looks pretty good. The corners are in good condition. But they'll go through it all. They'll, put it in the encapsulation process of this,
it's a
plastic case.
Yeah.
And they mail it back to you with the information, and that's that.
So, one of the things I learned today is, these cards, it doesn't just have to be, every time you say cards, everybody says baseball cards, even though it's not baseball. It could be basketball, football, wrestling, Pokemon, Magic cards.
Magic cards. Those are really actually one of the reasons they got so popular. Because when we grew up, baseball and sports were popular, right? But then they kind of died off. The cards got oversaturated. The market got kind of to where
they call it the junk era.
Yeah, there's nothing really. I mean, you gotta dig to find some stuff from the 80s to even probably now. It's actually worth some stuff. But that's when these other cards, like you're saying, picked up the Pokemon and these other Magic cards. So now the market with those, they're getting those graded as well.
Yeah.
And those have really brought up the card. That's why these guys are so backlogged at this point. It's not because everyone has a Mickey Mantle they're sending in, So they got the Charizard or whatever, right?
That's the one we looked at. It was funny you said that because the cards, the way it's graded, like the PSA 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that really has an influence on the price of the card. Whether it's a 5, it might be worth $1,000. 6, 14, 7 different dollar amounts based off of how good the card condition is.
I bought a couple, and you've seen that. I've shown you on my site where I buy some sports memorabilia occasionally and stuff. I bought 2 King Griffey Jr. cards. They were both rookie cards, right? Mm-hmm. And I sent them both in. I mean, to my eye, they look good. One came back as a 10. Okay. I think the other one's an 8 or 8.5, something like that. And for those of you that don't know, the scale's 1 to 10. 10's the best, 1's the worst. The one that was a 10, I've sold for $350 or something like that.
Wow.
The one that was the lower grade, I'm still sitting on it. No one wants it. I have it for $40 or something. Yeah. So, and those grades, just from what these people say, it can go from thousands to nothing. It's kind of crazy that way.
Depends on that. So that's good information. That's really good information. Like you said, it's another avenue.
If your kid's got Pokemon and stuff around the house, probably nothing rare or valuable, or they've used them and they're kind of beat up and stuff, but it's something, okay, we're buying this before you play with the cards. Let me go through them. Yep. Let me check on eBay.
Well, because it's like a treasure hunt for these kids. If you tell them, hey, these could potentially be worth money, most of them are let's sell that sucker.
Well, it's just like us, right? We didn't have the avenue when we were younger.
No.
It was I got Michael Jordan, All-Star or whatever, USA basketball card. This is worth, you can make up some crappy number in your head.
Team card.
This is worth $700. You had no clue. Or the Beckett says, this is, once you got a little older, the Beckett said this is a $50 card. Why just keep it, and who knows if that's went up or down since then, but to actually achieve the value in those. Yeah. And we're getting kind of nerdy and kind of deep, but the Beckett would also say, the graded condition, right? So it has to be the graded the 10 to have.
So
the most value. But
I guess one of the things taken away is again, it's another avenue to make money, and I guess it's a huge market.
It's a big business.
Like it's a huge business.
And there's, so I've told this story before. How I got into it, I think you were asking me. I don't remember if it's a podcast or not, but you go down like to Walmart or wherever, and there's a card section that does not get touched a lot.
Yep.
And occasionally they'll have these big clearance sales, right? So I'll buy, a few hundred cards for $3, $2. And then I'll just, it takes time, but you just kind of sort through it and like, okay, that one looks like it might be something, or that one looks limited, or, that's a whatever, rookie card, I'll look that guy up later. And then you look them up, and you have a bunch of crap cards that, it's the treasure hunt, like you're saying. You give them to your kid or whatever if you have that option.
And then they put it in the spokes on their bikes.
Yeah, but the other ones, you grade them, and sometimes you hit gold, so.
That's to me, it was just one of those things that are interesting because that's the whole. Again, as we get into you're selling online, what's your why? Like, why are you doing this? And if you're going to do it, you better be doing with something you like.
Yeah.
Like everything you're going to do isn't a home run. It's not like you can find a spice for 25 cents and sell it for $30.
Yeah, you can't do that all day long or I'd be doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't find the Mary Jane candy for $50 a box, just all around town.
But you're not going to find it unless you're looking.
Sure.
It kind of opens your eyes to things. But your day to day, like if you want to get into where you can make money constantly on things, what are you going to do? Are you going to sell men's T-shirts? If you're going to sell women's clothing, dolls. There's so many avenues to sell.
You can. A lot of people want to niche in. I'm all about diversify.
Yeah, you got to do a lot, but if you're going to sell something, you better like it.
Yeah, you better enjoy it, and it's kind of fun to do the treasure hunt and even in the cards. But the other thing is, how much space do cards take up?
Zero.
And that's one thing everyone's like, well, I don't want to just clutter my whole house and do all this and that. It's like, well, get into something smaller. You got cards, you got Polly Pockets. I don't know if you've seen or heard about them.
I've heard about them.
They were a girl's toy, which was about back in our day. Yeah. That's when we were young too.
Late
they
80s,
were
early 90s.
These small little parts that get lost a lot. So right now, if you can find certain Polly Pockets, they're big bucks.
One tip I want to share from that podcast is it talked about timing. Just like in everything in life, it's timing. They really got into some good specifics about, you buy football cards like before the season starts, or like right when the season ends. And then it's hot like right when the season starts.
Yeah.
And the one thing he said is all these guys do is they just buy quarterback cards. That's all they do is because nobody cares about the tight end. Nobody cares about it. And we're talking in big scale for these guys. But they do it, again, it's just like the stock market. If you think they're going to be hot, you get a low value and you turn around and sell it when they're hot.
Well, we have the same value. You do it however you want, right? But
yeah.
It's the same with Donovan Mitchell, who's a big guy here in Utah, right?
Absolutely.
His card is worth, the rookie cards are going crazy right now.
We just looked. I was just looking at his.
I may have a stockpile that I've been sitting on of them because I had a little feeling, and I said to the wife, if this guy's as good as I'm thinking he's going to be, I'm going to want to load up. So I got a bunch of Donovan Mitchell rookie cards now that I'm...
That's exactly what they said.
Yeah, here locally and nationally a little bit, but if he ends up going to a championship in the next 5 to 10 years... all of a sudden he's the best jazz player ever because we haven't done that, right? Okay. And he becomes the Michael Jordan of the Utah Jazz, and his, all that happens. So
like he says, we're all about, same thing at their show. I'm just copying the same value. They said, look at like quarterbacks you think. So they said Josh Rosen, because he's this guy in the diamond in the rough. He's only can go up in scale. Right now his card's really cheap. If the Dolphins do well, his card's going to go up. They said specifically Donovan Mitchell, because same thing, he's on a lower scale. You get into that thing. But they said James Harden and Russell Westbrook.
Could be.
Because, again, the Rockets, they're in that hit or miss. Like, you buy low. That's
and it is kind of a gamble. It's kind of a roll of the dice. But if you get them for cheap enough, you get them graded. If you're doing a big enough volume, right? So some of my wrestling cards.
That's what they said. They said get unique items.
That's the thing of, I sell wrestling cards to people all across the country. And... some of them are older, some of them are newer, but they'll reissue things and stuff. And you'd think, I don't know, the big names would be the ones that would sell like crazy, and sometimes they are. But like Andre the Giant, right?
Yeah,
he's been gone for a long time.
Yeah.
But they'll make it like a card for him. Like this year, there'll be an Andre the Giant memorial card or whatever, right? So it's still bulk or whatever, but I'll go ahead and get that graded, and then I'm the only one with it. Somebody will pay me $50 for that card when they could go down to Walmart and get it and do it themselves for less. But
Hold on, I want you to say that again. You sell wrestling cards on eBay.
oh yeah, all day long. I mean, if you go back in the archives, you've heard it. It's kind of the bread and butter for some of my stuff.
And you make pretty good money on this.
We're
We're not talking like $5 a pop.
No, I mean, to get them graded, I'm in it more than $5, so I can't even break even on that.
But like I said, these are things that you can find or you've had. You know what you're looking for. Again, you buy low and sell high. And you go through and you do the effort because you're the one that sends it in to get graded. And that's what takes this card value from maybe $5, $6. You spend the $8, and then what gets it up to the $50 value.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. There's times when I think I must be crazy when I'm putting this together, right? And I see how much I'm going to spend to grade cards and send these into wherever and wait 3 months or whatever to get them back. And I think, wow, am I just wasting money? Is this just throwing money away? Because, like, you know, you see some of this and you get back and you'll start listing, start going through that process. And I got a guy, you know, back in Illinois I've talked about a few times that
Peru.
every paycheck there for a while, he kind of is slowing down, but he was buying 4 or 5 cards from me at a time. There's another guy back in North Carolina. He keeps coming back to me, and he'll always want to make deals and bundle cards. And I'm sure if you buy 4 or 5 cards from me, I'll give you free shipping. You bet, you know. Which shipping on that's nothing. He thinks that he's getting a great deal. I'm selling the cards. There's a couple more guys that are probably into that, and they'll just buy, save, collect them, and I have them. And, you know, it depends what you're into. But that's the thing. There's not more than wrestling cards. There's all sorts of whatever you might be into, NASCAR, IndyCar.
One thing they've said was interesting, like IC card, like these limited edition, like a 7-Eleven card. Gary Vee has his own like Topps edition of cards of entrepreneurs, and it's going crazy. So if you have any kind of cards, like any kind of like trading cards, look it up.
Look it up. Who knows?
Yeah, you never know.
Back in the 90s, they did the Storm and Norman cards. I mean, there's just everything out there, right?
General Schwarzkopf.
Yep.
You know, look, I had some Desert Storm cards.
Yeah.
So, well,
which might or may not be worth anything. I don't know.
You never know.
The Garbage Pail Kids. I don't know if you remember those.
Oh, of course I remember Garbage Pail Kids.
I mean, they had all sorts of cards. So there's a revenue. There's an idea for you.
Yeah, and like I said, it's not. Oh, you're going to have somebody's buy at a garage sale. And there's going to be 8,000 cards, and they're going to be worth anything because a lot of cards aren't worth anything.
Yeah, a lot of them. The majority, right?
Yeah, the majority.
If you can find cards before the 70s,
yeah.
60s and 70s,
60s
back,
and 70s, yeah,
most of those would be worth something
and unique.
Have unique or have value to them.
Not the 80s, 90s Don Ress.
That's the problem. They got mass produced.
Yeah.
If you're going through that, you're going to be looking for rookie cards or special insert cards.
Yeah.
We were talking a few months ago about that Michael Jordan card that was like $300,000. $500,000.
Just looked it up.
There was 10 of them.
Yeah.
7 of them are only discovered, so that means
there's 3 out there.
3 out there somewhere, hopefully. Yeah. I mean, maybe they were in spokes and gone, but.
So, man, we burned through it. We've already gone half. We're just cranking, man.
We're cranking it.
So there's some good depth, some good info on eBay things. We'll get back to it. But this portion of the program is sponsored by PSAcard.com.
No, you can't say that they're not paying us.
Well, I just got good content from the guy today.
Well,
He paid me with the information I learned today.
Listen. Now, remember that you can't pay your rent with good karma. I know you're kind of that way. You say that love will pay the rent or all that Sonny and Cher
kindness, man.
Hippie stuff.
You've made more money because of PSA on cards than most people have.
Nah, probably than most people.
Well, most people that are listening to our podcast.
But I've paid them a lot of money.
Well, it's the same.
If they give me a free subscription, I'll say their praises all day long.
We'll see what we can work on.
All right.
We'll see what we can do.
Or back at it. There's multiple. But then there's these lower tier ones. So I'll say this real fast before we go to break. So you want to be with a reputable, known commodity like a PSA. What's that even stand for? I don't even know what it stands for.
I don't know either.
Something services, premium service. I don't know. Or the Beckett. There's some lower tier places that will do it for cheaper, but they're not as well known or respected. So that means your card value doesn't get the same respect. So if one of these lower places say it's a 10, even though that's what they say, they don't have the clout in the community. So you want to go with one of these bigger well-known places.
I guess all I'm saying is that, they got to be able to be at this convention saying, "Hey, I didn't know about you guys. I heard you on DeathPiles and Taxes."
There you go. Okay, I'll take
Or
it.
just, shooting the pub out there.
The DeathPiles and Taxes.
DeathPiles and Taxes. So, all right, buddy. Hey, you gonna take us to break?
Well, everybody, why don't you sit back, relax, and let's go hear what's going on at Adam Up County.
Thanks for listening to Death, Piles, and Taxes. This is Adam, your tax man. If you're listening to this podcast, hopefully that means you're selling on eBay. There's lots of things that you should know, and that's what we're here to help you. At Adam Up Accounting, we give you all the insights of what you should be keeping track of, the things you can write off, and how you can help improve your tax business so that you can pay as little as possible, but enjoy spending those profits on things that make you happy. Check us out on our website, Adam Up Accounting. Bottom right-hand corner, you can chat with us right there. Thanks.
Well, we are back, and this is Death, Piles, and Taxes, the second half of episode 27.
28.
28. Oh, my goodness.
You're living in the past, my friend.
If you blink, it'll disappear right by you. Episode 28.
See, that's why I like these. These are online forever, and I can prove to my kids in like 35 years that I did have a friend.
Yeah, that's true. I'm
Proof.
here.
It's proof.
Hey, we were telling them before the show, like, hey, I've known you since you were born. They didn't seem to believe you on that one.
I know they didn't.
So,
Man, what kind of world is it when your kids don't believe what you
I
tell
said,
them?
has your dad ever lied to you before? And they said, no. And I said, why is he going to start now? I had your back like a true friend.
I don't know.
That doesn't happen all the time with us. But,
Those kids sometimes.
Usually they throw you under the bus, but not this time.
Well, we talked about it a little bit. I got a question for you on items you've listed and the number of people that are looking at, and kind of a gauge on that.
Sure.
Okay, because I'm actually like trying to get more into this. Like, I know we talk about it a lot. I like finding the things, but
Everybody likes finding the thing.
figuring out my wife really, she cleans it up and she does it all. And I was on here. I'm like, hey, what about this and what about this? And she's like, well, go look at it. So, in the eBay, actual as you're on your sheet, you can see everything. You can see all of the items that you've listed. Because we have a store, like I said, we got on there, bought a store from your recommendations.
I have a question. This came up this week. What store level are you at? I had somebody asking me this about.
Not the free one, but the one just above it.
The one above it. Okay.
I think we have a $25,000 a month limit.
That's where the question came in.
Yeah.
Somebody starting up wanted to know kind of stores. I said, we talked about it in the podcast. I'm at this store. I think you added to this one. Not sure.
Yeah.
And they were asking because sometimes you get the limits and trying to hook up the PayPal. I guess I should go over it. It's a little more complicated to start up than I probably made it.
Yeah.
You got to link up your accounts. They got to verify it, make sure that you're going to be good. So the first couple things you ship and stuff, they kind of limit how much you can put up and
Yeah.
do for a little bit. Just making sure that you actually send your stuff and you list and all that kind of stuff, right? That your bank clears,
You're legit.
all
Yeah.
that, all the background stuff. But if you ever run into problems with limits, like they say, hey, you got 25 items at $10,000, you've hit your limit, you can just call them up and say, I'm still trying to list, this is what's going on. They'll ask you a few questions, just make sure that you're not laundering money kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And they'll usually just up your limit. So if you ever run into that problem, that's a workaround that I hadn't talked about and had somebody ask me about. So
And that's what we can sell it to 1,000 items or up to $2,500 per month, whichever comes first.
and I'm like,
And like I said, if you go over that limits, and we haven't quite reached there. I mean, here's the nice part. Okay, we have gotten to 104 active listings.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're selling. We didn't sell a ton this month. We sold 14 things.
well, I mean, we talk about the summer slowdown. Everyone's slow, so 14 things
Yeah, it's not.
isn't horrible.
It's not too bad, but
I think my limit's some crazy hundreds of thousands of dollars of things. But
so here's my
some
question:
every day.
as you get into there, you can look at all your active selling things, and you can see the number of views on it and the number of watchers.
Uh-huh.
Okay, because I'm kind of new to this and looking at it. At what point do you think is well, that's good that there are many people looking, but I want to lower the price to sell it, or
Yeah,
how you can send an offer to somebody
That's a great debate, because here's the thing.
well, you're the man that knows, so that's why I'm asking
A
you.
lot of people will say, I got 3 watchers and no one's buying it. I need to lower the price, right?
Okay.
Well, those watchers might be somebody like you that's like, hey, I'm selling the same thing. They're selling it for $29. I'm going to see if they get $29 or not before I list mine. And so it will send you a notification, hey, that item that you've been watching is sold. It's sold for $20 or $25, right? You can go look that up. Or there's different mindsets. It kind of depends on the item. Some people will say, well, I've had 200 people look at this and they haven't bought it yet. I need to lower the price, right? I'm kind of in the mindset of, I'm looking for the right person at the right time to come and buy it.
Okay.
If you have a couple hundred people looking and you got a few watchers, maybe it is too high. Or, it's just one of those things of like, what doesn't mean that they looked at it? That means they clicked on it at some point. Were they really interested? Were they just kind of looking? Did they look through all the things? Hard to say.
Yeah.
So I'm all about sending offers. If you can send an offer on something to somebody, and you want the money, how hungry are you?
Yeah, it's just kind of, do you want to unload stuff or not?
And I'll usually send an offer. With one of my things, I have a bulk, some of my multi-level marketing things, I bought them for $0.25.
That's right, you
I
told
got
me
them
that.
for like $10
Yeah.
for sale. I'll offer them for instead of the $10, $8 or something, and people will snag them up.
Yeah.
On that item, I think I have, like 50 some odd watchers.
Hmm.
So what happens when you send the offer, it goes to all these watchers. So if you have 4 or 5 people watching, it'll send an offer to all 4 of them usually, or 4 is probably a low example. So if you have 50, it'll send it to like 4 or 5 of that 50 and say, hey, Adam's trying to get rid of this. He'll sell it to you for $20,
Yeah.
First one to bite. So it's one of those things that's debated about. Everyone's got their own philosophy on it. My thing is I'll just sit and wait.
Because, yeah, a lot of those things you're not in a hurry for.
If you are in a hurry, because the problem is, okay, you start lowering your price. Oh, now more people are looking, but they still haven't bought it. Oh, I got a couple more lookers. Okay, I'm going to lower it a little more. Oh, more people, right? But you're racing yourself to the bottom to where, oh, I sold it for $5. I bought it for $3. I made no money on that thing.
Yeah.
I originally had it at this price. So for me, it's a patience game. I'm waiting for the right person at the right time to come and snag it up. It's good to know that people are seeing it. It's good to see the impressions. It's good to have some watchers. But I do think a lot of the watchers are more your competition. They're like, okay, I got that same item. Let's see if they sell it at that price. Because I know when I'm looking at things,
You're doing the same
I'll
thing.
do the same
I
thing.
do the same thing, too.
and then it's there in your account, and it will say, hey, this sold. And you can keep up on it instead of looking every day. You get notified of it.
So again, getting to the root of it, what's your why? What are you trying to do? Like, are you looking to unload some stuff? Are you looking for an extra $200, $300, $400 to, buy something this month? Or is it like the long game saying, hey, right now it's summer, things aren't selling as great. This cool costume, if I wait till October, it's going to sell for $15 more.
I did that this very summer. A few months ago, the Spider-Man movie's coming out, right?
Yeah.
Somebody says, hey, this costume for my kid, I'll pay you whatever the price is. And I'm like, okay, here you go.
Buy.
I can wait till October and probably make, $10, $15 more off of it, whatever. But I need some money. Things are a little slow. It's kind of the same. It's depends on the item too. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, that's a fair offer. I bought this because most of the things you're buying for a couple bucks, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, you're not going to give me 40, I'll take 25. You're still doing pretty good.
Yeah, you have spent it.
Or it might be this thing's been sitting here forever collecting dust. I'll take $10. I still, might not make as much as I wanted, but it's getting out of my basement.
So I think that's, as you look at all these things, what's your why? Like, that's kind of, I think, and that's what I kind of went over with my wife. I'm like, hey, we've done pretty good at this. Like, we're selling things. We're still in that new phase. We sold, I think we've sold, I don't even know how many. We're selling probably 80, 85 things. We've sold quite a few items.
Just been doing this, since we started the podcast.
Yeah, since the start of the podcast, we selling a lot of items, which again we're learning. We're learning to get into it. And again, what's our why? We want to sell enough stuff that we can go to Disneyland. So
everyone's doing it a little differently. I do think people obsess over those numbers a little bit too much. Like, okay, I got 10,000 people have watched this and I bought this item, or 10 watchers. Why isn't it going? Why isn't it going? Spend that time just listening to more stuff. Don't really get caught up in it. Every now and again, check on it. It's not something to just forget and neglect, but it's one of those things that you can just stare at all day and say, okay, why have 1,000 people looked at this thing and no one's bought it? It's too high, or it must have something wrong with it, or whatever. If anything, that's showing you that your keywords are working and that people are actually finding and seeing your item.
So what you're saying is the only way to make more money is to list more stuff.
As far as I know, I mean that's the number one thing when you get in your head and you're like, why aren't things selling? Why aren't things going? Just start listing, because that's where the conversion rate comes from. That's where you get more eyes that just whatever reason. I mean, we talk about it all the time, but the more you list, the more you sell, even in the slowdown. So
This is funny. One of the feedbacks. This extra large is very fitted and snug.
hey, is it a positive?
Yes, it's
That's all that matters. Keep on moving,
I
right?
don't know what that means, but so all right. So there's our deep dabble into eBay stuff. Give me a couple eBay items. I know that's going on this week. Or
Yeah, so
today.
we're right now going
Right now.
on as we speak is eBay Open. Now I can't speak with everything that's been going on. We'll just kind of do a brief recap. I know next month at our get together, they're going to take a deep dive of everyone that was there, so we'll have more information then. Some of the bigger notes coming out is, there's going to be an option on your account that you can have multiple users on your account.
Well, that's good because me and my wife share her account,
Uh-huh.
and like I said, we both log in and do it, which makes sense.
Which I don't know all the details, but I'm liking it because we've talked about hiring somebody, right?
Yes.
One of my drawbacks from hiring somebody is that you're giving them access to your account, and I don't want them going out and buying things and shipping it to themselves, and then you find out and have to fire them.
Yeah.
Or, they see all the information of, man, he bought this for $1, he sold it for $50. He made $40 off that, or whatever, this, that, and he's paying me this, but he's making that.
Yeah.
You might not want them seeing all the information that's going into things. So hopefully, I don't know if you can or not, but hopefully you can, when you make the multiple users per account,
You can limit some
you can
things.
limit some things and
Yeah.
stuff. I imagine that's what's going on. Once again, we're not there, just reporting what's coming down. The other big news from what came out so far is they're going to do a kind of like an eBay. So we have Fulfilled by Amazon, right?
Oh, I saw this.
They're talking about doing an eBay. I guess they're not talking. They're going to try to do an eBay where you mail stuff into the warehouse and eBay will fulfill it for you. So kind of like Amazon, most of you people are probably familiar with it, is they got these regional warehouses. You mail your stuff into them and they store it for you. They ship it for you. They do all that kind of work for you. So kind of the big news. I don't know how it's going to work. Like I say, we're not there. This is just the news. It's the Fulfilled by eBay.
I kind of liked your comment. You said, "Stay in your lane, bro."
Well, here's my thing with it, right? So people want to know what you think about it. eBay's kind of got this complex of they're fighting with Amazon, and I get they're competitors and stuff,
But they're not.
but they're not. And people, I think they kind of have this inferiority complex. Of people
Short man complex.
People think that we're just the garbage people that go get stuff at the yard sales, and then you can't make good money, and we can do what Amazon's doing, right? So, to me, and I'm sure they'll let you just do it how we do it, I don't really want to send stuff into eBay to have them fulfill it personally as of right now. I haven't heard anything about the program, just going from my gut reaction. Because if I want to do that, I'd do it with Amazon.
Yeah.
And Amazon's got the views, they've got it established, they've got it all figured out. Do I really want to send something into an eBay warehouse and have them, it's going to be more fees, more handling, so on and so forth. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it. It goes back to, I know we always talk a lot of sports, and maybe people aren't into sports, but you remember Oregon football the past probably 10 years, right?
Yep.
Their mantra is they go no huddle, they go fast, and they just execute. They just go quick, and they're going to put 70 points up on the board, right?
Yep.
Now, other teams around the country thought, man, that's a great thing. Look at Oregon. They're putting up all this, they're going so fast, they're doing it so great, and they're like, we're going to emulate that. We're going to do what Oregon does. And they tried to do it, and it just did not work for them. They couldn't manage the clock right. They're calling bad plays. They're fumbling. They're not converting. All of a sudden, you're 3 and out, and you've only took 5, 10, maybe a couple minutes off the clock. I guess I was going to say seconds, but realistically, you take 2 or 3 minutes off the clock, and you give them back the ball, and the other team would drive and score on you. So a lot of that go quick, go fast model it's gone now. It's not what it was. Oregon still does it.
Go fast, go hard.
So the problem was everyone was trying to out Oregon and outbeat Oregon.
Yeah.
And the way to beat Oregon that kind of got exposed was you don't try to out Oregon. You just be the big, strong person that you are. You'd be a big, stout defense, and you just shut them down, and you'd run clock on your other side, and you just try to run the clock. And, they were in the national championship a few years ago. That's how they got beat. It wasn't because the other team was outpacing them, outdoing what they did. It was because the other team ran their offense, they ran it well, and they held them.
That's right.
So the way I see it is right now, eBay sees Amazon as Oregon.
Yeah.
And they're trying to out Oregon and become the new Oregon. Don't be the new Oregon. Just be the eBay.
Just be you.
Just be you. Be unique. Be different. Be where people go to get this kind of stuff.
Stay in your lane, bro.
You're not going to... I mean, Jeff Bezos just got a divorce and is still one of the richest men in the world after giving half of his fortune to his wife, right? You're not going to beat this guy at what he does.
You think he wants to get that half back? Yes, he does.
And even if he doesn't, like, you're chasing the dragon. Like, just focus on what you do and do it better.
That's right.
I
I'm in
mean,
the same thing on that.
I guess do the options. I just don't see this one working that well. Again, we're not there. I don't have all the details, but that's my gut reaction with the, I'll just call it fulfilled by eBay model.
There you go. So a couple tweets.
Couple twips.
Twips, tips, hot tips.
We're gonna go on some twips this summer. We're gonna see some things.
Thanks.
And listen too much to Gary Vee with that New York accent or something.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm just trying to bail you out.
Just look things up. Like I said, look up some cards. Do a couple different things that you haven't been doing, and hopefully make some money this week.
Let me reiterate this too. Like, I'm not trying to be negative or whatever. Like, eBay's still great for what they do. I'm not leaving eBay. I know some people will hear this and like, oh, eBay's trying to ruin our lives. They're trying to ruin our sales.
Oh gosh.
They're trying to be different, and if it works for you, it works for them. Whatever. I'm just hoping they let me do what I do. It works good for me. If I want to send new items in and stuff, I'll probably just go do it through Amazon because it's already there. You can do it. They're not out to get you. They're trying to make their business better. I understand that they have shareholders that they have to say, hey, this is what we're doing. We're trying new things. We're moving in this direction. You can't just stay stagnant, too. So I get it, but just throwing that out there because I know you go on some online forums or groups and people they just go like everything's ended. The world's over.
They're here to make money, just like because they don't make money unless you make money. So, hey, you know what time it is?
What time is it?
It's time to get derailed with D-Roy.
Man, you ready for another derailment?
I hope so.
It feels like we just had one of the first of the show with my baseball.
Well, that was a mini derail.
That was just me putting the owls on blast. And I'm serious, Worm Owls. If you don't give me my stuff that you promised me, I will fulfill my obligation to the Ogden Raptors or the Colorado Vikings, or somebody.
Vapors.
Yeah. So
Vape smokes.
Okay, we ready to get derailed?
Let's get derailed.
All right, kids. We're gonna want you to sit back, get relaxed.
Hey, Peanut!
It's not that clown.
Hey, Tubby!
He's following me in my dreams. You guys hear that, or is that just in my head?
It's both.
And we had some. What did you hear last week about the kickback from the Ute Stampede? Anything?
I heard some good stuff, man.
I was afraid the town was gonna come lynch me. I've only heard some positive things. I don't know. Maybe I'm being shunned.
Positive feedback.
I'll have another derail segment at some point about the time when I was a younger kid and I did get shunned by the town for some things I said about the community. I don't think you know that story.
I don't know if I know that one.
It was not the smartest move for a guy in high school to make.
Well, we'll save that for another episode.
So I let it be known that I drive a Prius, right?
Yes, you do.
And my wife also drives a Prius.
Dual Prius family.
And the reason we drive them is we can just rack miles on them and things are tanks.
Yes.
They get, about 50 miles a gallon. You can cruise up and down the road. So my wife's Prius has I think has over 300,000 miles on it. And it's to the point that when something goes wrong, do you fix it or do you not?
I know what you mean.
So a few years ago, actually a year and a half to be precise, it had the battery go out. The engine battery, the big battery.
And they're pretty expensive.
They're pretty expensive, but we said, you know what, we're going to fix it.
Okay.
So we went ahead and invested in that. And said, we're just going to keep this till the tires fall off. But that's a major thing, right?
Yeah.
And so, for those of you that don't know, and you wouldn't know if you haven't drove a Prius, when something goes wrong with a Prius, there's a check engine light, of course, but then there's the red triangle of death.
I don't know what the red triangle does.
So your dashboard lights up like a Christmas tree, but it's this huge triangle with an exclamation mark in it, and that means something's wrong.
Okay.
Last time that happened, it meant new engine, new battery for the engine.
Okay.
And so it could mean a series of things, but I'm like, okay, that's not good. So my wife's a little upset because the car's got this thing going on.
It's got the death triangle.
Got the death triangle. And I'm like, okay, let me try and figure this out. So I had to go up to her work and switch out her car. I said, I'm just going to run this down to the zone. I'm not going to name names because I might get sued, but we can all figure out where the zone is. I'm going to have them pull the code because they can tell me whether or not this is the battery or something else, or, there's some very options of what this could be. So I run it down to the zone, and I get Mr. Car Guy, right? Mr. Man. And when I go in there, like you see me in my work stuff, right? I almost look like a mechanic. I got the collar shirt.
You do.
I got I got my beard. I look like a manly man, right?
You look like you're waiting on that hair certificate to come in the mail so you can take care of yourself right now.
I don't know what that means.
Get a haircut, you hippie.
Oh, well, I don't have much to cut, man.
You're maybe a beard cut.
Okay. Well, anyway, so I look like I know what's up a little bit, right? You wouldn't think I'm some guy that doesn't know a spark plug from I don't know.
You're here to get your blinker fluid?
Something like that. So I go there and go, well, what can we help you with? I said, well, I need you to come pull a code. Like even that right there should tell you. It's not, hey, my check engine light's on. I don't know what's wrong with my car. So I need you to come pull the code. Okay. What vehicle are you in? I said, it's this black Prius right here. Huh. All right. Well, go on over there. What seems to be wrong? I said, it's got the check engine. I said check engine light.
Yeah.
I know what it is. I know what. So
Death Star.
And he's like, okay. Well, she ain't pulling no. Well, so he gets the code. We have to go back inside the computer. He ain't pulling no code. Nothing wrong with it. I said, you saw the freaking dashboard lit up. There's something wrong with it. And it doesn't say nothing's wrong with it. I said, check engine light's on. There's something like, what else what are some of my routes? What are some of my options, right? Because I don't want to take it to the dealer because the dealers cost an arm and a leg.
Just to pull a code.
Just to pull a code. I don't know, but your check engine light wasn't on. What? Check engine light's a yellow amber light that looks like an... I know what it is. I know what the check engine light looks like, buddy. I got a CDL. I drive for a living. Like, I'm not an idiot. You know?
In this aspect.
In this aspect. I might not know how the car operates. That's why I'm here with you. But, I understand you don't know a lot about this car. And I understand that you don't like this car. But, yeah, that. I said, you saw the big triangle with the exclamation mark that was red, right? Yeah. That's not a check engine light. I said, well, it means something's wrong. Well, I can Google it and see what it says. I'm like, buddy, I got a phone. I can Google it my own self. Yeah, that's all I can tell you. Okay, thanks a lot. So there's this place up in Salt Lake that's working on my car. That they're kind of specialists in it that aren't dealership.
Yeah.
I didn't really want to drive clear up there. But I think, well, okay, we're going to drive clear up there. So, thanks to my Fast Pass, I can just go around traffic, whip her up there, and I talk to the guy. I'm like, hey, something's wrong.
So those who don't know, it's Fast Pass means he gets to drive in the HOV lane by himself.
I get driving in a carpool lane all by myself, and people look over and like, oh, I hate that guy. They don't know that I can.
Yeah.
So they kind of get mad about it.
Yes, because he's got a fuel-efficient car.
I'm taking advantage of the system that's there.
That's all you can do is take advantage of the system.
And it's just a car. People hate them. I don't know. People hate me in the car. It's a car, people.
It doesn't matter.
And it runs differently than your standard cars.
Yes.
So trying to fix it. So if I'm starting to wrench around to see what's wrong and I do the wrong thing, it could ruin multi-thousands of dollars.
Yes.
So, hey, buddy, why don't you just do the work yourself? Because I don't want it like... This is a 2004 car, too, so it's a little older, and she just rams the miles. We do about 80 miles round trip each of us each day. So anyway, so I get up to the place and talk to them on the phone. Good people. And so they're like, all right, we'll take her back and look at it. And I said, the guy at the zone said that you can't pull a code. That guy's a moron. I said, I know.
Okay.
He just doesn't have the right equipment and thinks he knows what he's talking about. I know. Just letting you know what he said. So they come back and they say, hey, it's so there's a fan on the back of the car, like on the back seat.
Okay.
That's an intake fan that takes air and turns it up and cools down your interior engine in this car so the battery doesn't overheat.
Gotcha.
So it's an internal system. So they said, hey, your seatbelt here is kind of covering this. Probably what it is. So we reset it. Now, if you'll come out here and move your seatbelt, we're not going to charge you anything because you fixed it yourself.
Okay.
So I do that, and thanks guys, on our road, on our way, right? Couple days go by, thing kicks on again. So I'm like, oh crap.
You go move the seatbelt?
The seatbelt's not there. It's not there. And so the guy said, well, you got kids? No, we don't got kids. Well, funny story. There was a guy that had some same issue that you're having, and they had a kid that sat in the back seat, and they'd give him suckers to keep him quiet.
Okay.
He was stuffing his sucker raptors. I'm on raptors all the way. Raptors down this vent, and it clogged it up.
Yeah.
It's got a little internal fan. So, and I'm like, no. So they kind of got looking at it and stuff. So basically, they just replaced the fan, which wasn't the cheapest, but they were good people and good to work with me.
There you go.
So it's fixed. Now she's going, had him charge the AC, run like a new machine. But I guess the derail with Derek, and this is the point for anyone, just because you know a lot about a subject, you shouldn't just think that somebody else doesn't know anything and or treat him that way, right? Like, I go to this guy at the car zone, and you don't know what a check engine light is from an air brake light. I'm just like, buddy, you don't know. Like, I understand you don't think, because I drive a Prius that I can, turn a lug nut or something. I don't know what he thinks, but that you're superior to me and you're going to Google what's going on.
Like, dude, I can Google this in a minute, too.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's the derail story of the week. Everything got fixed. Everything ended up okay. And at some point, we'll have to fix the car. It's got a lot of miles.
Yeah.
At some point, it will be done. Now, for those of you that do own a Prius out here, here's your free tip.
Free tip.
Now, here's the reason that light goes on. If you ever have the red triangle
Of death.
Either you need a new battery, which is going to be about $3,000. One of your doors is just not shut tight, and you've tried to drive, which you can just go fix yourself. The fan's not getting the circulation that it needs to get.
Your kids have stuffed too many sucker wrappers down.
Or you've covered that; it needs to get some ventilation through there. Or your oil is low. So there you go. I think there might have been one more, but that's all I remember. So there's your free tip. So you don't have to go to the zone. You can do it yourself.
Do it yourself, huh?
Do it yourself with D-Roy. I think that's all that happened to that story.
Well, I'm going to add just a little, I don't know, not derailed. I don't know what we can call my little...
Keep off the rail with D-Roy.
Yeah, my little 2 cents of something that I thought was pretty entertaining this week. Got a friend, and his dad's a stud, man. His dad, I think by now he's probably in his 70s.
What's going on out there?
The fire guys they're working the trucks out,
They
man.
just tooting the horn? We're trying to have a podcast.
Why don't you go tell that to him?
I think I might.
Yeah, I think you get punched in the face.
Well, probably this part of town. The fire people on the other side of town are really nice.
That's all they need you is you going over there telling them how to do their
Hey,
job.
buddy, you know what a check engine light looks like?
Hey,
Stop honking your horn.
hey, fireman,
So you got
just go take that hose and
you got a friend who has a cool dad.
guy's a stud, man, and military background, all kinds of stuff, and just he drove a Kia for a long time. Same thing. He just commuted, had a Kia. Anyways, they're out driving around, just going over to a friend's house or something, and this guy's like walking in the road, and he got in a fight with him. And like I said, he's probably in his 70s now. Tweaker. This guy's obviously on drugs, doing something.
The military man?
No, not my friend's dad. This guy.
Okay.
Just this guy.
Well, that's not something you should tell about your friend's dad on the air.
No, this is the guy walking in the road.
Okay.
He's just like being, I don't know, ignorant and just yelling and doing all kinds of things. Won't get out of the way. I don't know all the details of the story, but all I know is he was yelling at him. He got out the window and is yelling at his wife. So he gets out and punches the guy. Like they're getting a physical altercation, and he hits the guy. The guy hits the ground, and you think it's over, but then the guy hops back up. Like this guy's so doped up on drugs, and you
Feel no pain.
feel no pain. And I guess
the old man say before I hit him, there's going to be two hits. Me hitting you, you hitting the ground. And then it happened.
And the ambulance hitting 90 miles an hour to get your butt to the hospital.
There he's going.
So, funny story about that is it doesn't matter how old you think somebody is, they can still take care of
So
you.
wait a minute. So the guy hops back up. What happens after that?
Basically, did it again. They got in their car and he finally took off.
Yeah, you shouldn't go just picking fights. But
Don't go pick fights with anybody.
Well, that's the thing. There's plenty of people that haven't ever got their butt kicked by a smaller guy, an older guy, whatever. there's guys out there that they can hold their own, and you shouldn't probably be for testing them unless, I don't know.
You don't mess with that guy who's got the cauliflower ear.
Yeah, that's the first thing you do is you look at their ear. If there's any cauliflower ear, you back up.
You just leave that guy alone.
Yep, that's usually not going to end in your favor.
No.
Even if you got a little cauliflower in your ear.
Yeah.
And you think that you were all state back in your day.
We don't need those physical altercations like they used to get.
Yeah, maybe go out to Area 51 and get you some wrestling in.
Yeah, get you take care of a couple of buddies.
Get a quick sweat up.
And if you are, hey, join your local MMA area. There's places you can go now.
Yeah, if you want to fight legally, it's available out there for you.
Fight Club is no longer. Nobody knows about Fight Club.
You don't have to go driving down random roads and hoping there's a meth head in the middle of it to get a fight in anymore.
Exactly. You can go places to the gym and they'll actually, you can pay to do that, and I'm sure you get good enough people will pay you to do that.
Hey, I got another eBay tip while we're at it.
Hey, eBay tip me. Punch me in the face, you tweaker.
So come back around for another hit.
We'll get you a second time.
So people ask me questions and stuff now, and I think I covered this, but I guess I didn't. When people are shipping, they're telling me, man, these labels are kind of expensive.
Yeah.
The printing part of it.
Yeah.
You want to invest, if you're going to do this long term, in a laser printer.
Yeah.
Because your inkjet printers are going to cost inkjet, that stuff, that ink costs a lot of money. And so you're going to want to get a nice laser printer. You can look at reviews. I don't really care. Mine's a brother. HPs are good too. Probably brands I don't know about are great. You can find them on eBay, secondhand store. But basically what those are is you just buy the toner, right? You buy a toner cartridge and you can print out like 20 million pieces of paper on the same toner.
Yeah, 2,500.
And they're like pennies a piece.
Yeah.
So if you're using an inkjet printer, that's going to cost you some money because that stuff's like more valuable than gold per ounce if you do the math on it.
Yeah.
So if you're in this for the long haul, you can do that, or you can go down to like a Kinko's or something and print them off if you don't have the printer or the library.
Printers are so cheap. Like,
I know, but if you're kind of testing the water in it, and you don't want to commit to the laser printer.
Buy a printer and print your kids off, or your dog or whoever. Print them off like pictures on the internet so they can color them.
I mean, it's just an investment. It's tax write-off,
Yes,
right?
it is.
And, that's my thing there. I guess I didn't say that, and some people are like, I'm using a lot of ink, and this is kind of more costly than I thought. The other thing is when it rains and it hits that stuff, it smears.
Yeah.
So if you send your stuff in the mail and that smears all over, it's not going to get to its intended location.
I just learned how to tape my label on properly. My wife just showed me the whole way to do it. You got to do it over this. You can't do it over the scan bar.
Well, because she went to the meeting that I made you guys go to, she paid attention while you were off daydreaming.
I was getting my Coke Zero.
Well, those ladies were telling us that the USPS ladies were telling us how to do it.
I was on my eBay account checking out the Johnny Lingo store.
Yeah, you were out seeing how many watchers I have. You were watching all my things,
I
listening to
know.
the nice ladies.
But that's why there's two of us, and we make a good team.
There's that, or there's the Zebra, like the thermal printer. Some people get those where it just prints off like the I guess it's like a big sticker.
Yeah. Which I have one of those for my office because we print a lot of things, and it's super nice.
So you can do that too. Just some different shipping options there that we didn't cover in the shipping podcast. So an update.
Updated.
Get yourself a laser printer.
Hey, fatty.
I keep hearing this clown, and it wasn't me.
Okay.
I want it to be known that I don't volunteer for much.
Yeah,
or do nice things.
You were not giving up your time and self for that helping the children.
One time, so I did volunteer back when I was a little younger because I was in that area. One of the best jobs I ever got was I think they called it security.
Security guy.
But they gave us it was a vest, or maybe it was even a white yellow shirt, something like that. And people would come say, "Hey, where do I sit? Here's my tickets." And I just tell them where they sat. And then this one lady did say somebody was in my seat, and I had to go, "Hey, buddy, you gotta move." And why do I gotta move? Because this is her ticket. Well, I don't think that's the case. And then I was not trained for if anything went down past that point. If it escalated past that point, I was just going to walk away and say, "It's his seat now, ma'am. I don't know. He wants to fight."
Punch him in the face, you tweaker.
But that was the best. So the worst job was selling hamburgers and getting mocked by the clown. The best was like, "Yeah, your seat's right there."
I think You've forgotten something. It's not your local, but it's in other involvement that you've done. Because I remember a story about you volunteering some time.
Okay, so I might volunteer things.
Well, you volunteered for the kids.
Oh, you always got to be good for the kids.
Do you remember you told me you went on a hike with the kids to the Y? And I believe some kid wore sandals? Is that how the story went?
I guess we'll tell the story. We've been derailed already.
Double deroid.
So this has been a few years ago, but I'd help out with the Scouts, the Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts program. I sell enough stuff that I'm not going to tell everybody to go find it because that's my little niche. I don't want you to find it. No money to be made there, folks.
There's no money
to be made in the Scouts.
On buying Scout shirts and selling them on the internet.
No money there. Just don't even look at it.
Allegedly.
Well, So anyways, I was supporting my local troop, and we had these kids. I don't even remember how old are you. When you're a wee below, they were wee below.
I think like 10, 11.
Yeah, 11. Maybe they're 12.
11 or
10,
something.
11, somewhere in there. And so, you got to go do stuff with them and teach them stuff or whatever. And I'm not, a small guy.
Hashtag Husky.
I'm in the Husky Pride section. I was happy to see Husky Strong, hashtag Husky Strong. I can't speak. I'm so excited about it. It's trending. It's a thing now. But there was this other kid.
Did we start that?
I should have.
I think we started that.
Maybe we did. I'll claim it.
Yeah.
That's what we did. These kids are like in the prime of their youth. And for whatever reason, there's a couple leaders, and they were racing or something. And I just came from work. I had my boots on, all my heavy clothes, and okay, I'll race you. So we did from one end of a building to the other. I don't even know how far that is.
100 yards.
100 yards at the most.
50 yards.
And so these kids, I'm like, well, I'm going to let them have it. I'm going to give it my all. But, obviously they're going to beat me. They're freaking 11 years old, 12 years old, in the prime of youth. And I'm an old man that just came from work that's in, boots and hasn't ran in years, right?
Eons.
Lo and behold, I beat them. I beat them all. And I look at them and I said, you should all be ashamed of yourself. There is no reason. There's no reason I should beat you in that. I'm not in shape. You should not be thinking that he's an adult and beat you. You should have all beat me. This should be an embarrassment for you. Your life needs to go better than this. And I don't know if they took that to heart or not, but I meant it.
I hope they did.
I meant it. There's no reason. You guys have been playing way too much Fortnite or whatever.
Yes.
This is not...
Way too many video games.
And so there's a mountain that's the Y Mountain.
I'm looking at it right now. I can see it right there.
People that aren't from around here, in the West, mainly, where your town is...
The beautiful Rocky Mountain.
Where your town is... usually, high schools or whatever will have, a hill, and they'll put, the letters, so we have the J Hill from where I grew up, because we were Jewap High.
Jewap, Nephi, Utah.
And, the U, so the University of Utah has a U on a mountain up in Salt Lake.
Yeah.
And so there's a Y over here in Provo for BYU. And it's Y Mountain. And so these kids decide, we want to go hiking. We want to hike the Y or something.
Your boy saw how the race went.
I saw how the race went. I don't want to hike it. And they're like, oh, yeah, we'll do it. So, okay, one day we're going to do it.
Being the good man that you are, you decided
they need it for a patch or something. You need this hike. And so, okay. So we show up, and this time I was dressed a little better. I had, hiking shoes on, just shoes on, probably shorts. Probably had a bottle of water or something. And this mountain is switchback after switchback. It's it's a good hike. It's steep. It's hot. I'm overlooking rails and thinking, oh, no, not more. No more. So I'm going, and the one leader's in the front. I have to stay in the back because you don't want the kids getting lost or in between. You're responsible for the kids. And this one kid is just not moving, man. I'm like, dude, you gotta go. I don't want to do this either, but we gotta go because they're gonna wait for us at the top, and they're gonna wait for us to get there because you need to do this. And the more we're stopping, the harder it is to get started again.
Yes.
You just gotta keep going.
Just go, buddy.
And it's horrible. And so, yeah, we went and did that, and it was horrible. And the kids weren't that happy. And then they get to the top, right? And it's okay, let's rest or whatever. They just want to go run down. I'm like, no, let's just rest for a little bit. Look at your accomplishment. Look up over the valley and have some.
Enjoy it.
Come to Aquila. Is that the guy? The scout, fake god.
Aquila.
I think that's the guy. You remember scouts? There's some I shouldn't say fake god, I guess, There's some Indian god that they make up that, like, the tribe of scouts. Aquila will tell you the way. Follow Aquila.
Were you drinking some tequila, finding your Aquila?
I wish.
I don't even know what
wish
you're
that was
talking
an
about.
option. Well, if you're out there in the Boy Scouts...
Just your arrow of light ceremony?
Yeah. Remember how they have all the people...
Smoking some peyote or
Remember
what?
how they have, like, all the people dressed up like Native Americans? And
No.
It's probably really offensive, the arrow of light, anymore. And Aquila will show you the path and things.
I never got that far.
You're lucky. I never got that far, but it didn't mean I couldn't volunteer to be that guy.
That's right.
So, anyways, so the kids are like, look over, you know, they just want to go run down as fast as they can on these hairpin turns. I'm like, you guys are going to break a leg or hit somebody or go rolling down the mountain. And then, you know, the big husky kids are with me, like, do we have to go back? No, let's wait about, let's get 10 minutes. Get 10 minutes. My mom's waiting at the bottom of the hill in the van to take me home.
With your inhaler.
Yeah. And I'm just like, come on, kids. Like, you know, so we went back down. But that was that story.
So you're saying you aren't the Uncle Scrooge that you say you are.
I'm probably nicer than that.
Heart of gold. Do anything for anybody. But here's the thing. Get your kids out and doing stuff.
Here's the thing. If I can beat your kid in a foot race, they don't have a good life in front of them.
They will have
They're going to have a rough spell.
They will have some things to take care of, and there will be some consequences for their choices.
I got another story about an owl-shaped kid since we're on the subject. I don't know when this will ever come back up again, so I might as well share it.
Hashtag Husky Strong.
So when I got married, me and my wife went to San Diego for our honeymoon.
Yes.
And we went to the San Diego Zoo.
Okay.
You've been there? You grew up there.
I've been to the San Diego Zoo.
If I remember, you were a season ticket holder for the Padres via your friend's dad for a lot of years.
That's right. Best thing is not being a season ticket holder, but having a friend who
And
is.
your friend's dad who takes you.
That's
so
right.
we go to the zoo. Never been there before. It was big, nice, whatever. They have a double-decker bus.
Oh, yeah.
And so there's this little husky kid who's having a rough day. I don't know what happened. And I can relate because I was a husky kid. I'm a husky man. I can say this because I fit the mold. And so we're getting ready to get on the bus, and you have to wait, you know, for the stop or whatever.
Yeah.
And this kid's just having a rough... I don't know what's been going on. All of a sudden, he pukes.
Loses it.
He loses it all over. And then Mom's like, you all right? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm okay. And at this point, you should be getting out of line, right?
Yeah.
Like, take care of your kid. Where do you want to sit, Johnny? Let's go to the top. Let's go to the top.
Oh, God.
So I look at my wife and I say, we are sitting on the top. We are not sitting underneath this kid at all. We are sitting in the top on the opposite side. He can lose it over the bus or whatever.
Strategically placed.
So you're not sitting underneath this kid. And it wasn't a closed. I remember that somewhat the bus could have. It wasn't like a sealed. It could have dripped and whatever. So
Spillage
could have happened. Leakage could have occurred. So
Leakage.
I know you're sitting there thinking, I thought this was a podcast about eBay and online selling and taxes, and I'm hearing about fat kids vomiting at a zoo. Well, we kind of derail every now and again.
So what you're saying is you want to be the kid who's selling ponchos when it's going to rain.
Oh man, I'm saying these kids. I'm not one to be talking, but you get your kids outdoors, let them exercise a bit. I mean,
Yeah.
let them play around a little bit.
And we encourage you getting on a phone, learning eBay, like I said, looking at YouTube, like I said, teaching yourself, but get outside, man.
Get them hiking around the thrift stores or something. And I don't want any of you guys coming on at DRoy Everett on the Twitter machine telling me I'm fat shaming or mean to kids, or on my Instagram showing me pictures of your little husky kids and saying I love them. I am one of them. I'm trying to help. We talked about sports cards and Pokemons and all sorts of things. Like, I'm there with you. Just get them outside, walking around the stores a little bit, the yard sales. Get them moving.
There's a reason we're talking about selling stuff online and taxes.
What reason's that?
That's just kind of that's the path we took.
That's who we are. We're not talking about how to make it in the NBA.
No.
We're not talking about how to, date supermodels left and right.
That's just not.
We're not talking about, I don't know, what other cool things people do, becoming actors in Hollywood.
We're talking about making money.
Which is nice.
It is good. It's fun. Doing something you want to do to make money. Both of our lives are good. I mean, we get to kick around and make a podcast.
Not too many people can just take their Prius up for a ride and put in a new part and not have to think about it.
That's right. I mean, I don't hate going to my job. I rather enjoyed getting up this morning.
You know, like, it's all right. That's something when the sun's up and guns up, right? Like, I'm out.
I was good. I got up extra early this morning.
I don't feel so bad about my life that I have to go heckle minor league officials.
No.
Now, there is a certain one that's a umpire of women's softball. He's an idiot.
Yeah.
I've seen him blow so many
Is
calls.
that guy we've seen on TV a couple times?
Yeah, he's always like puffing out his chest, and I saw him sweeping off home plate like it was his own house.
He just had an arrogance about him.
Yeah, I let that guy have it, but he deserves it.
Yeah, I couldn't even. I couldn't tell. I think he had that same issue. He had that, like, he's got that chip on his shoulder.
So here's the thing. We got a friend that obviously we're joking about. You've heard us talk about our friend that's the women's softball ump, and we give him a lot of crap on this show and in person, whatever. We're having such a good life that we've talked about taking money, paying random kids to go heckle this guy, and he'll have no clue that's happening, right?
I forgot about that.
So that's a good life. When you can pay people to go make fun of your friends, and they have no clue that it's coming from you, your life's pretty good. And that's where we're at, my friend.
Good time had by all.
Also, if you're a friend of us and somebody comes up and is just yelling, giving you the business, we probably paid him to do it.
I'm sure.
So don't deck them.
Don't
Don't
hit
go
the
to jail.
tweaker.
Don't go to jail for that.
No. Oh man, pal. There's two things that are certain now in life.
The only two things in life that are for certain. I saw you put this on somebody's Facebook post the other day.
Yeah,
It made
yeah.
me happy.
Yeah, there's two things that are certain. That's DeathPiles.
And taxes.